Hello, folks. Welcome to the show this evening. And as you can see by the ticker, it's Father's Day.
Yay!
So here we are. We're going to talk a little bit about some stuff going on with Father's Day and the relationships with our fathers and father figures. So I have a couple things here that I will break out in a little bit. And so Tiffany, she knows about one, but she doesn't know about the other. Like she knows I'm
I
going to
know
share it,
it, but I don't know
but
it.
she doesn't know the content. So I'm going to read a letter that was written to me that really touched my heart and really means a lot. We'll get on with it. Yeah, let me. I hear some beeping on Tiffany's phone. I gotta remember to mute mine as well. Don't you love that? You get into a situation and you tell people, "Hey, mute your phones, turn your ringers off, turn them on silent," and then you see several people get out their phones, and what? 5 minutes later, you start hearing somebody's phone going off.
Right?
Hey, come on.
I'm listening. Allie said it's very important that I call her.
Of course it is.
So I'm trying to find out if someone's dying.
We're talking about Father's Day today, and some of you watching may have spent your afternoon with your fathers and father figures, those that have really meant something in your life, that have encouraged you and supported you and been there through thick and thin. But some of you may have some situations where maybe you didn't have that guy. Maybe you didn't have a good role model. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you lost your father early or several years ago, and you now uh, have to deal with that separation. So we'll talk a little bit about those things as we roll along. So today we might be able to get Tiffany to talk a little bit more because this is more of a like a question and answer, maybe an interview type process where she puts me under the spotlight.
Are we starting now?
See her get worried. Her face just like, wait, what?
I can't help it.
So I noticed something in the last few episodes, folks, that I'm really hard of hearing. And I had said that
And
I was.
he yells at y'all a lot.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. I really apologize for that because you probably can't hear her much. And then you hear me like blasting your eardrums. But I'm going to start wearing my hearing aids while I do the show. So maybe I can kind of simmer down that.
Okay.
Okay, so we get started. And I don't want to read this just yet, the secret one, but I do want to share this with you guys. This is from Judah to Dad, and so
It's probably gonna read backwards.
yeah, he drew this for me, and even though it's backwards there, Happy Father Bay.
And he spelled it all himself.
But he did good, and it really meant a lot to me that that was given to me in church this morning. Anyway,
Questions?
question. Yes.
So my
No?
first question to you. Okay, so first we're gonna talk about Bobby and his kids. And if you don't care about Bobby and his kids, keep listening because we're actually going to get to other serious stuff, like how you didn't really have a relationship, like a real relationship with his dad.
So I noticed something too, you guys. I look at the show data, and we have lots of views that are less than a minute. We have lots of like our average view is like 47 seconds.
Hey, don't put our information out
there. Yeah, but for those few of you that do watch the whole show and don't just skip through on the replays, for the tens of likes that we have,
tens of likes.
we are in the tens of likes. We're a little shy of 100 likes on our page, but we thank you to all of those that have liked our page and that you do listen to us at some point.
Okay, anyways, I was talking.
Okay.
Anyways, thanks all about him. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So we are going to talk serious. So if you know anybody who is struggling because their dad's not really in their life, or maybe if their dad struggles with alcohol, or maybe if they struggle with alcohol, definitely have them tune in for the second half of this show. So the last 10 minutes. Okay. It's going to be 20 minutes.
Okay.
Probably not. Anyways, okay, go get them right now. But listen while you get them. Okay, so my first question to you is, what is your favorite part about being a dad?
I get toys all over again.
So knew that was going to be an answer. I knew that was going to be an answer.
So I have 3 boys and 1 girl that has me wrapped around her finger. But my 3 boys, I love coming home after a hard day's work and hearing, "Dad, will you play with us?" I love that. That is the absolute best. And then I immediately have to start rolling in my mind, okay, what can I shift around and what can I put off till later? Because I need this. And now my 3-year-old, he loves these little candies that come from Tootsie Roll. They're fruities, and they're the blue raspberry kind.
Yes.
And every single day, I have one big bag of them and sitting on top of the pantry. And as soon as I come in the door, if it's not, "Dad, will you play with us?" and run up and hug, he's like, "Dad, can I have a fruity?" And like, wait a minute, you haven't even given me a hug yet. You got to pay me first. Pay up, son. Give me a hug, and then we'll talk. But those are my favorite things, of them valuing my time. And then, of course, I get toys all over again.
Right. Okay. So your biggest struggle being a dad?
My biggest struggle being a dad is really knowing how to be a dad, like how to do things right, how to not fail. Because like every parent, every mom, every dad always has that in the back of their mind, like, how can I not screw this up? And let me tell you something, folks. Like, yeah, we joke around, we laugh, we cut up, but there is a serious side to me sometimes. It's hidden down deep, but it's there. But we all want to succeed as parents. We all want the very best for our kids, and you don't always have to get it right. You don't have to be perfect.
Right.
And the very best thing that I can give my kids, other than good life lessons, we all want this Cosby Show, Andy Griffith type idea for our kids.
I do wish I lived in that time.
Like Mayberry would be jam up.
Man.
I'd be down for living in Mayberry if I had to live in a city. Because they were a little bitty, close knit little town thing. But if I had to live somewhere and I could pick it, Mayberry would be a good decision. But we want the very best for our kids, and we always want to do the best. But I don't have to be perfect. I realize I don't have to be perfect for my kids, but it doesn't stop me from trying.
Right.
So there are days when I think, gosh, I probably could have done that better. I probably could have reacted to that little deal a little bit better. I probably could have bit my tongue and maybe not said some things. Because, sometimes when you have the best intention and you want to say all the right things, but it bypasses the filter.
Yeah, I know all about that. Trust me.
It doesn't quite come out the way you planned it or the way it sounded in your head.
Yep.
And then you have to spend time to redo it. And we see that with people on social medias and stuff like that. They'll put something out there, and once it's there, it's locked in. Just like saying the wrong thing to your friends or your loved ones. Once it's there, it's there. Right. You can't take it back. All right, next question.
Okay, next question is, I'm running out of questions. I'm just kidding. What is your most memorable Father's Day thus far?
My most memorable?
Yes. I have an idea. Like, I already know what my most memorable Father's Day is, but I'm not the father.
My most memorable Father's Day was a Nerf war.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
It was almost like Christmas. We went out and we bought Nerf guns for each kid and myself. Right?
It was his Father's Day gift.
And we got up like it was Christmas morning. Went and woke the kids up and said, "All right, suit up, let's go." It was like a SWAT team drill in the house. Like, get up, get your stuff on, grab your weapon, let's go. It's like, move, ready to go. And we were moving furniture around to hide behind couches and chairs. And So we made the little kids wear riding goggles, like dirt bike goggles, so they would get their eye poked out.
We didn't want them to grow up looking like their mama.
We already have one pirate in the house. We don't need another, right? So we had an absolute blast that morning, and every Father's Day, it was Sunday. It was before church.
Yeah.
And so we threw down, and I think we destroyed the living room.
Yeah.
But I know my kids still remember it. That was probably, so far, that is the best Father's Day I've ever had. Now, it's not saying that the other ones are not memorable and not good, because even this morning, with everything that was going on today, let me tell you. You got a minute?
Yeah. He's got to tell you this. You have to listen.
All right. So I'll just be completely honest with you. I'm not always the best at responding to situations, especially when they're crazy. Now, I'm a little crazy. I'm a little odd. I can admit that, right?
Everybody knows that.
Okay. So I woke up this morning and I climbed down from the loft. We're in a tiny house, right?
Yes.
What is wrong with the children?
It's kids. They're good. Just keep talking. Keep talking.
So if you hear her phone, the children will not leave her alone today. They've been fine until we hit go live.
They've literally not hardly talked to me all day until now. Okay, anyways, carry on.
So I climbed down, and I'm not being crude or anything like that, but the very first thing I do when I get up is I go to the bathroom. And when I walk in, I'm like, what in the world went on in here? And so I'm very fluent in movie quotations. Okay? I can carry on a conversation through movie quotes very easily. So if any of you have not seen Daddy Daycare, you better check that out, because this was a Daddy Daycare moment. I walked into the bathroom just like the little kids, like, I got to go to the bathroom.
Oh, wait, it wasn't poop, because that little kid, it was poop, and that's
no,
grosser.
It's not poop.
Okay.
No, it was puke.
It was puke.
But it was just straight up, like, the kid comes out and he's like, you okay? And he's like, I missed. And Eddie Murphy looks at him, he's like, what do you mean you missed? He's like, I missed. On he goes about his day. But there was no kid present. And I walk into the bathroom and was like, you missed. Like,
no, but then he comes to the ladder and he's like, hey, babe.
I just started with Tiffany.
Because that's the most reasonable.
But I'm just like, process of elimination. I know she's not going to lie to me.
He said, were you sick last night? Like, I don't know where you're going with this, but no, I was sleeping next to you last night.
And so I go to the children. So we had Judah and Josh in the house last night. That's it. And so I go over to Judah and I ask him, hey, bud, you okay? Did you get sick last night? And he raises up in the bed like zombie, like checking the couch, checking his blankets, like, no. I'm like, what's wrong with the bathroom, buddy? Oh, I said, you're not in trouble. So I think that he, in his mind, he's thinking, I screwed up. I need to fix this quickly. And I was like, you're not in trouble. Why didn't you come get me? If you were sick, come get me. But I mean, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
So the start to my Father's Day, this will probably be one of the most memorable, not my greatest, but most memorable Father's Day, is that I spent the first hour of my Father's Day cleaning the entire bathroom.
It was a tag team.
And, I mean, little bro threw it down in there.
He did. I guess we were at the ball field like 12 and a half-ish hours yesterday. I guess maybe he got too hot. I don't know.
Anyways, he didn't complain.
It was a one-time thing. It's not like a stomach bug. Okay, so we have to carry on.
Okay.
But, so I'm going to ask you this question, and then you can read your letter, because then I want to get to the more serious questions.
Okay.
Although I can't be serious sitting next to you. Like, I need to put you on this side so I can't see you. Okay, so your most Well, I was going to ask you your most memorable. No, would you rather? This is a go away. Would you rather have gifts that your kids buy for you or homemade gifts / letters and cards?
I would much rather have these.
Same.
They don't have to spend 1 cent on me. Like, I am just the same as the kids. Like, I just want time.
Yep.
I want them, like, I want to pour everything in the world that I can into my kids, but this right here, folks, y'all better grab your Kleenex. Tiffany, you better grab your Kleenex.
You're already tearing up.
I'm not tearing up. Look,
okay.
I'm good.
You're going to make me cry.
Good,
okay.
bro.
Okay, read the letter, and then I'm going to get to serious.
Okay. All right, so I did not ask permission. So
if y'all see Jacob, don't tell him.
Don't hound him too bad. But here it is. Here's his letter. Happy Father's Day, Dad. I know we don't always get along, but I love you. Woo! Gets me already. Everything I do to make you proud. I know I haven't been the best son, and I mess up a lot, and I'm sorry for that. You've shown me how to follow God, how to work hard, even when doing an easy job. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know how to do either of those. I do wish we could spend more time together. But I know you have a lot on your plate, so I understand. I love you, Dad.
I told you to let me read that.
Heart ripping. Like, gets me. And I tell him that he's a great son. I love on him and encourage him. And he knows that he makes mistakes. And I don't tell him that he's a terrible son or anything like that. I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea. But in his mind, he thinks, man, I'm not measuring up. That's a hard thing. That's really hard because I think him telling me that he loves me, him trying to make me proud is top notch.
Yeah.
Out of this world. But it kind of makes me feel like you're kind of failing a little bit, Pop, because he thinks that he's not living up to your standard. And, I tell him all the time, look, dude, I love you more than you could ever imagine. And you make me proud. You are a hard worker. And, yeah, you mess up sometimes, but we'll work through it. We'll work it out. So I don't make him feel like a terrible son, but, that eats at me. Yeah. It gets at me pretty good. So some of the issue I have with that is that I really didn't have a good father figure in my life for a long time. I come from a broken home. Some of you may already know that. I had a stepdad for 10 years of my life that it was kind of rough. Like, he was really, really hard on me after my stepbrother moved out, and actually he enlisted in the military to roll on to try to get out of the house because it was going to get crucial. And then I took the brunt of everything. So I had a real struggle growing up with really trying to understand what love is, and it was all acts of service, 100%. And if I didn't, yes sir, and straight up salute and come to attention, and my bed wasn't made just right, bouncing a quarter off of whatever. He was a military man, and it wasn't all drill sergeant, but a lot of that bled over into the relationship. So that was a big struggle. And I have a hard time sometimes trying to figure this out. Even 15 years in and 4 kids, there's days where I'm like, what do I do? And so I know I'm not the only one. That's why we get into these conversations, and that's why we have this show, is that we're not perfect. Right. But we've been through so many different things, and we've experienced a lot in our lives that maybe, just maybe, you can see that we're real people and that you can make it through this too. So I do have my dad that is back in my life.
So I gotta ask you a question.
Okay.
So my question is, and I told you it was going to be some kind of tough ones, but this one is, how did it affect you? Because you've told the stories of going to spend the summer with your dad only it ended up being your grandmother, because you would knock on his apartment was right above hers, and you would go knock on his door, and he'd be passed out drunk, so you couldn't get in there. So as a child, how did that make you feel? And as an adult, how do you get past that?
So at the time, I really didn't know any different. You know, I had friends that also came from broken homes, but you know, everybody that I was kind of around, that, you know, they partied. They didn't party as hard as my dad did,
right? Or by themselves.
But I only went to stay with my dad one summer, and the other times that I went were like maybe a week, maybe a long weekend. You know, after those summers, because my mom knew what I was going through.
Right.
My mom knew that, you know, I desperately wanted to spend time with my dad, and she knew that she was doing her best to try to keep me from the pain and the heartache.
Right.
And yeah, there were days that that I was locked out of the house. When I was 10 years old, that's when I was 11. I went and spent the whole summer, and it was okay. I had a stepmom at the time. She kind of covered the gap and kind of cushioned the blow. But then that next year, that's when I got into baseball, and then I just really didn't go up there anymore after that. Just little bitty pieces of a time. And like you said, I spent the majority of my time when I was going to visit my dad with my grandma.
Right. So as you got older, did it get easier? Like, okay, so and we're not talking bad about your dad, because like he said, he is back in your life, and he's actually trying. But you went through this stuff, so I want to ask you this stuff. So your dad was not at your graduation. He was not at your wedding. Nope. He's really never been there for any milestones in your life. So how, I mean,
the one thing out of all the things that have ever gone on in my life, the one thing that my dad has ever been there for was the birth of our last child. And we had to get somebody to bring him to the hospital. He didn't even drive down there.
Yeah.
But our last child was born on his birthday. And that's the only time that he's been to the hospital.
Well, that's the only time he's been there for anything.
Yeah. But he's trying. Still a pretty good ways to go, but he's trying.
So was there ever a point in your life where you're like, was it always in your head like, okay, he's my dad, so no matter how many times he screws up, he's going to get a second chance? Or was there ever a time in your life where you're like, I'm done?
Oh, yeah. There's been plenty of times where I've said I'm done, but then I've stopped and think about it, and I'm a little bit of a softie. I have a real forgiving side. Yeah. Like, sometimes it's a little too much. Maybe I give too many second chances. But I think that comes from two of the examples that I have in my life now.
Okay.
Because my stepdad, Ricky, he and my mom have been married for 25 years now. And Ricky has always treated me like his son. And so I started to get a little bit of a different sense of what home was supposed to be by the time I was 16. And then when I met you, your dad is like, he has been a father figure to me. He has encouraged me. He has really been there in the tough times of my life. So I have Ricky Alvarez and Dennis Peeler to thank for the last 25 years of my life. So they've helped me to kind of see what a father's supposed to be. Give me that good example.
Right.
And to really show me how a father is supposed to support you.
Okay, so to the dads out there who are living separate from their children.
It's not too late.
Right. So they're living separate from their children. Maybe they don't have, they have joint custody, whatever. and they don't get to see them all the time. What would you say to those dads?
I would say don't take today for granted. Do the very best you can to do whatever it takes to make it right, to make amends, swallow your pride, because that's the biggest thing that divides people now is an argument. They will swell up with pride and they will hold a grudge. Those are the biggest things that you need to get out of your life.
And
they will eat you alive like cancer.
I feel like also for the parents out there who are divorced, I feel like don't use your ex against.
Do not use the children as leverage to get back at the father or the mother. And your kids will get old enough to where they see that and they'll resent you for it.
Yeah.
They're smarter than you think, and they'll pick up on that stuff. They'll see that you're trying to pit them against somebody else, and it won't be good for your relationship. So you want to do the very best you can, because folks, we know we have seen some really destructive things in our lives over the past 2 or 3 years, and we have seen how 1 second can change everything in your life. And for those that have lost loved ones, you know that you can't get that time back, and all you have is the memory. Mm-hmm. And so you think about that. You don't want to beat yourself up and be wallowing in the guilt, but you got to think, what could I have done different? And the relationships that I have now, what do I need to do? If it's me, if it's not you, swallow your pride, suck it up, buttercup, and just apologize. If it's not your fault, apologize. Do the very best you can to make amends so that you can be a part of your child's life.
Right.
And you can have the best relationship possible. Right. What else you got?
Well, I have lots more, but I said 20 minutes. We're at 27:08 right now. So we're going to throw in a commercial. Wait, don't change it yet.
Okay.
You got to do that commercial first.
All right. So
we started a business.
We did start a business. Tiffany and I are in a business. We partnered with Rod Hickman and Generational Wealth Builders. And so the way this business works, we're not always just connected and under Rod Hickman. We are not branching out or going away from him, but we are entrepreneurs. We are our own business, but he's showing us how to get these things rolling, and Rod is really pouring into us to help us get this stuff really mastered, to help people get the best opportunity and the best situation for their finances in the future. So our business is called Legacy Bridge Builders. And, our slogan is building a bridge to your financial future. We want to get you out of the hole you're in. We want to help you see the light at the end of the tunnel that's not a freight train. We offer life insurance, we offer annuities, and we offer debt solutions. So we can take, if you've got over $10,000 in credit card and medical bill debt, we can get you options to lower your monthly payments, and it does not put you in a bankruptcy. And a lot of consolidations will put you into a position where your credit looks like you've been in bankruptcy. So there are many options. And so don't just respond to the things that come in the mail, because a lot of those things are fly by night. A lot of those things are designed to take your money, and they don't offer you as good as an option as we can do.
Right. Email is on the ticker. So if you need debt solutions or life insurance,
contact us. LegacyBridgeBuilders1@gmail.com.
On to, is this it?
Yep.
June giveaway.
Oh, it's next week. Today's the last show. So
last time to enter.
You have this week all the way up until next Sunday to get your comments. Not just a thumbs up, not just a comment of saying, hey, a comment of the couple, or you and your bride, or you and your spouse as an entrant, a participant in this contest. this giveaway. So you have to like the episode, and you have to comment the name of the couple, even if it's you and your spouse. Comment the names, and then you are entered. A thumbs up, an emoji does not get it.
He's mean. Anyway,
yeah, I'm holding
like
the rule.
and comment. If you have liked and comment and then you share, it gets you an extra entry. However, if you just share, it does not get you an entry. Sorry, guys.
Right. So we have the envelope, and Vanna will reveal it next week. I'm going to tell you what the giveaway actually is. So we do have a pretty decent amount of entries.
Yeah, actually, surprisingly, it actually got you people watching and
Thank
liking
you
and
to our tens of listeners and watchers. So we will be making that announcement next week. So when we make the drawing, you will have 7 days to respond to our Facebook page or our email. So here we are live at outlook.com.
Or if you have our personal numbers. Oh, wow. Here.
If you have our personal information, you can contact us directly, but we're not giving that out here. No. Because we don't want that. I get enough calls on people just sitting there and not saying a word, or I get that bloop, and then, it's a sales call. Somebody trying to give you extended warranty and such. Okay. So we will be doing the drawing next week. This is the last week to get your entries in. And what else do we have, Tiff? That it? Is that all?
Yeah. That's it.
Wow.
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Happy Father's Day to all of you. We had a great day. Had a little bit of a relaxing day.
Yeah, it was fun.
Spent some time on a float in the middle of the pond, which was incredible. The weather was perfect today. Took a motorcycle ride.
Yep.
Yeah. So we had a great day. So all of you still celebrating, we wish you the best. All of you fathers out there, we wish you the very best and happiest Father's Day. And those of you that maybe had to offset it for next week, we wish you the best for that as well. What else you got, Tiff?
We got to go. They're getting bored.
All right. Well, nobody's commenting, so they're not bored. Yeah, we love you guys. Right. We love you guys. We appreciate you for watching. We appreciate the comments and you being along in this journey with us. So thanks for enduring our commercials and our yakking. You guys have a great night, a blessed evening, and we hope you stay cool this week. We'll see you next time.
Bye now.
Hit that end button, Tiff.
Oh, gosh.
Bye, y'all.